What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, we have some DNA design news to cover in this video. So just a couple hours ago at the time of this recording, we have a reveal for a DNA design DK70 SS86 Scrapper and Bonecrusher upgrade kit. And this is scheduled for a release of September 2025. Pre-order deadline is June 28th of 2025. You got filler parts for upper arm interior, filler parts for lower arms, filler parts for the back of the lower legs, filler parts for the soles of the feet. As for the waist, the original gear mechanism was designed to ensure combined mode stability, so unfortunately it cannot be modified. We appreciate your understanding and support. And then stuff for Bonecrusher reads extended replacement part for the lower arm, new foot base designed to increase height and restore original proportions, replacement waist part to unlock articulation. And then it says, please note the waist upgrade requires part removal and pin installation. While this involves a bit more work, it significantly improves articulation performance. And then says, we want each character's instrument designed to reflect their uniqueness, so we intentionally avoided making them all exactly the same. We apologize for any inconvenience and appreciate your understanding, and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's the little read-up they gave for this upgrade kit, and honestly, everything here looks pretty cool. The instruments is something that was really missing from the original releases of these Studio Series figures, and frankly, in my opinion, I think these should have came with the original figures, considering how simplistic they are in design, basically, and paint apps. You would think there would be enough room in the budget to do a measly little instrument with some gold paint on it. It's really not. It doesn't seem like that difficult of an accessory to pack in with figures that are already semi-simplistic, if you ask me, especially for the Voyager or Deluxe class price point, in my opinion. But the gap fillers, really nice accents to these figures, as always, because, you know, if you're somebody that does serious toy photography and stop motions, in terms of toy photography, I'm not just talking about, you know, measly Instagram toy photography where you're just putting figures on your kitchen and snapping some photos and doing some Photoshop on the eyes and some blast effects. I'm talking about some real articulated comic book art photography that's a serious art form, and like you want things to look good, realistic, like they came out of a comic book or a movie or a cartoon. The gaps on these figures are not suitable for, you know, stuff like that, and especially for stop motions. If you want to make serious looking stop motions that look very high level, that's another thing you don't want in there. So, you know, these gap fillers are always helpful in terms of that stuff with the art form in the collecting space. So I'm really happy about that. You know, there's a ton of spaces that are filled now because of that, especially on Scavenger, which I really, or Scrapper, I mean, which I really do like. You know, the instruments, it was something that really needed to be added, and seeing them here with the figures, it just adds so much more to them. Like, these just feel like 86 movie figures now. You know, without the instruments, they kind of just feel like regular cartoon G1 releases. Like, they don't have any accessories that are movie specific, which would have been those instruments again, but, you know, they left it out. You know, it just feels like it was an excuse to make a new G1 Devastator because of how outdated the Combiner Wars mold was at this point. You know, they just were able to fit it in the 86 line, and then they just didn't include the instruments. So now it feels more like an 86 movie release, but you have to end up spending, I don't even know how much this pack is going to be. I don't think they gave a price point on the read up here. I'm not seeing that. So I'm assuming this is going to be like 40, 50, 60 bucks, maybe, especially since it's an upgrade kit for two figures here. I do like how they added the extra height to Bonecrusher, and he's not as stumpy and ugly looking, and especially those hands look a lot better. They definitely did live up to the upgrade name with Bonecrusher especially. Out of the two here, I'm really happy about what they did to Bonecrusher the most. As much as the gap fillers on Scrapper help a ton, I just feel like they improved the overall look of the robot mode for Bonecrusher way more in terms of proportions and just overall aesthetics, especially for those forearms. So I gotta give them props for that. And obviously the instruments are like the main draw to this pack. I'm sure most people are gonna be buying this because of those instruments that come with this upgrade kit. Which makes sense because that's like one of the more iconic moments and accessories for the G1 Constructicons to have. And it's a real shame that Hasbro didn't just release them in general and fans have to spend an extra 50 bucks on a random upgrade kit on Big Bad Toy Store or something. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about this new upgrade kit? Do you think it lives up to the name and actually upgrades these two figures, or do you think it is useless? All my social medias are linked down below. And yeah, thank y'all for watching this video. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye!